Hey everyone, welcome to our corner of the web. As you've hopefully heard by now, Disney is making a Hawkeye show that's supposed to be going on Disney Plus late next year. In fact, we've already gotten pictures and clips of Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner as Kate Bishop and Clint Barton on the Hawkeye set. Now this is really exciting for a lot of people because Hawkeye is kind of the most underrated and unpopular Avenger, so for him to get his own show is a big deal. In this video, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I would like to see in the show. Okay, so I want to start off by saying that pretty much everything I'm going to mention here is coming from the Hawkeye comic series by Matt Fraction and David Aja. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I tried looking it up and I think that's technically how it's pronounced, but I apologize if I butchered it. From what I've heard, the show is going to kind of be based off of that series, so I guess it works out anyways. But seeing as the different things that have happened in the movies, I don't know how it's going to be different. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love Kate Bishop, she's awesome. But I don't want this show to be all about her. I get it, you know, it's Clint passing on the torch, she's going to become the next Hawkeye. But with her and all the other new characters that they're bringing in, it's likely that they're going to go into some sort of Young Avengers type thing, so she's going to get her time. But this is probably one of Clint's last big things, so I just want him to get the screen time he deserves and what we've been waiting for, you know? At the very least, it can be kind of half and half. Especially because sometime during the comic series, I think about halfway through, that's when Kate leaves to go to LA to start her own thing. So I don't know if they're going to show that or not, but if they do, I don't want it to all of a sudden Clint's out of the picture completely, you know? One thing I definitely want to see in the show is some explanation. How they got there, what they're doing there, how Clint and Kate even met in the first place, how he met Lucky, and also Clint's history, because I don't really know how they're going to do it in the MCU, since, I mean, there's already some different things going on. So they have this thing in the first few issues of the Hawkeye comics where Clint is talking and he's like, okay, this looks bad. I think that would be great to have in the beginning of the episodes, at least in the first few, because I love that. I don't know why, it was just so funny. Especially just how they started each of those first few issues like that. It's just what did you do this time? They also had this interesting thing in the comics where they would go through a bunch of stuff and in the next issue they would do it from a different point of view or whatever. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm not super picky if they do that or not, but I think it would be cool. There was also one specific issue where I think it's called Pizza is My Business, and it's from Lucky's point of view. That would be so awesome to have. I just think it would be a little bit difficult, but it would be pretty cool to have. As far as the characters go, I don't really have a preference. Obviously we need Clint Barton, Kate Bishop, and Lucky the pizza dog. Barney would also be great to have in, Clint's brother. That would be interesting to see. The Tracksuit Mafia, I mean, you kind of have to have them, especially if they do go into how Clint met Lucky. So they would be interesting. Madame Mask would be a good villain. I know she did have more to do with Kate's storyline, but I think she would still be cool to have in there. I know there's a few other characters that have been confirmed, but also cameos. They did have a couple in the comics, and I think it would be really interesting if they had some in here because I know that the shows are supposed to be connected to the movies. So in the comics, there are a couple things that Clint is pretty well known for. He has been affectionately nicknamed Human Disaster Clint, and I think that's just great. It really emphasizes the humanness of him. It shows he's always so accident prone and clumsy, and he's always got the bandages on his face. I love it. He's also a coffee addict, and I think that's pretty funny. He literally drinks it straight out of the pot. It's also been mentioned that in some previous comics he has been mostly deaf, and I think that would be interesting for them to put in the show. I think there's actually some set photos of Jeremy Renner with the hearing aid in, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. I love the interactions between Kate and Clint in the comics. I love their banter, the way they just they get on each other's nerves so much, but they still love each other. And Kate isn't afraid to call him out when he's being stupid, but she still acknowledges that he's a good man and he's trying to do the right thing, and she stays with him. Also in the comics, Clint is, he kind of owns this apartment building, and the interactions he has with the people there are really great. He helps them out and he takes care of them, and they kind of know he's an Avenger, but they don't really make a big deal about it, and I really like that. So it'd be great to see all of that stuff in the show. Also, trick arrows. There's this one issue where Clint is going through all those different arrows, and he has so many different kinds. The boomerang arrow, it comes back to you. Why wouldn't you want that? In some of the Avengers movies, it shows some of the different arrows, but it would be nice to have like an emphasis on that. And finally is the costumes. I would prefer them to be similar to the comic book versions, but I'm not super picky about what they're doing. Some of the pictures that we've seen so far, like, I mean, they're not too bad. I don't know. I'm not really sure if, like, how final they are, if that's like some, not temporary costumes, but just casual, if you know what I mean. So in conclusion, I have high hopes and expectations for this show. I hope they do the characters justice and really show that Clint is a good character, superhero, and Avenger, even though he doesn't have powers. If you want to comment down below talking about the different things that you want to see, that would be great. We can interact and talk about it. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know more about this stuff than I do, but I love Hawkeye. I was really excited to film this video. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more fandom related content coming soon. Bye.